it downfield. It is. Oh, it's caught. John Moran in the clutch. Oh, my word. Oh, my God. Deep to right field. Way up there. And way down the sideline. Jefferson. Another huge run. Jalen Red broke tackle. Stayed on his feet.
What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Blake's Take. And the Willamette Warriors faced their first real adversity of the season in an embarrassing 41-8 defeat to South Umpqua on their homecoming. Coach Firth told the Warriors all week that the difference maker in this game was going to be the amount of turnovers and penalties they had. That philosophy was in full effect throughout the game, as the Warriors' turnovers put their defense in difficult spots, while every time the offense made a positive play, it would be decimated by a penalty. This game got off to a wild start as I stopped South Umpqua's promising open drive with an interception. Yet, our offense wouldn't be able to do much of anything in response, forcing a punt that ultimately got blocked to give the Lancers great field position. But the Warriors secondary came through yet again, this time by Warwick Bushnell, to give the offense yet another chance to redeem themselves. Just when you think things couldn't get any crazier from there, the Warriors fumbled on the very next play, losing it to South Umpqua, and the defense can only do so much after that. This time, the Lancers took advantage of the situation, scoring on a 3-yard touchdown pass from Jace Johnson to Cade Johnson, a Johnson-to-Johnson connection. Despite his 2 early interceptions, Jace found his rhythm, torching the Warriors secondary for 275 yards and 4 touchdowns on 15 of 21 completions. Offensively, the Warriors were held scoreless, with several penalties and turnovers causing major setbacks in the flow of the offense. The Warriors' dominant ground game was shut down entirely by the Lancers' defense, who held the Warriors to just 79 rushing yards on a hefty 29 carries distributed between Jacob Williams, David Griffith, and starting quarterback in place of Caleb Jensen, who came down with an illness, Caden Meir. Williams led the way with 33 yards, while Griffith managed just 25 yards after his career-high 178 yards last week. Meir rushed for 23 yards while only throwing for 27 on 4 of 14 completions, totaling out to only 106 yards of total offense. The Warriors' only points of the night came on neither offense or defense. Rather, it came on special teams when Isaac Lattin had an incredible kickoff return from the Lancers, took an 85-yard kick return to the house to really get the Warriors amped up after they were in a 14-point hole. On the ensuing extra point, Meir also had a highlight reel play when a bobbled snap turned into a rollout to the left, where he threw it left-handed to Ty May in the back of the end zone for the 2-point conversion. All in all, this will just be a great learning opportunity for the Warriors before they head into the league play against Scio next week. They had a lot to clean up and work on to reach the next level that they want to be at. This team has lots of potential, and they know where they're at, and they are nowhere to reaching where they should be and want to be. This week, they have to be really focused on their tackling technique. As it showed in this game, the cutback killed them. And just overall offensively, they have to execute better. Not to mention, Jensen and starting outside linebacker Mason Stearns must continue to work to get healthy, so there won't be so many guys playing both ways and having to exert that energy all the time. In the end, how the Warriors respond next week after facing this adversity will determine what type of team they are, one that rolls over and goes through the motions, or one that fights till the very end with their full effort on every single play. Thank you all for tuning in. Hope you all enjoyed that. I know it's a tough loss for the Warriors, but they'll learn from this. They're still 3-1. They can still bounce back, and it wasn't a league play, so they still have a chance to win league and go undefeated. And I hope they can continue to win out and go 8-1. They have 2 not so competitive games ahead of them, but they're gonna have to take them seriously if they want to get better against Scio and Willamette, who are both at the bottom of 3A. But then they'll have 2 very important games in the league, back-to-back versus Amity and Dayton, which will be very tough games, and then they ultimately finish out their regular season against Taft. So it's going to be a heck of a season. There's lots of football left to be played. We'll just see how they respond after this adversity, their first one of the season. You can catch all of this and more on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and or YouTube. I'll see you on the next one, and you have a fantastic day.